Alright, so I got the spoiler completely in pieces now. Cleaned up the carbon fiber piece completely. Got all of these scuff marks out of this, so it looks really good right now, both sides. Looks like it's almost brand new now. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and just see what these look like. They don't look too bad, honestly. And I did clean them up already, but on this one, I don't know if you guys can see it or not in the light. Yeah, you can really see the imperfections on it now, especially the paint job that the previous person did to this. It's bubbling up, it's paint dripping. These definitely have to be repainted. I'm still definitely looking for someone that can do that for me. I sanded down the bottom parts a little bit, which may have been kind of pointless, but they were really rough. So did a little bit of sanding, polished them up a little bit. It looks so much better now, for sure, without a doubt. Way better than it was, for sure. Also, I did take the time to bondo it a little bit and put paint over it just to prevent the cracks from spreading. It's not great, obviously, but that's not the purpose. The point is just to prevent it from spreading and cracking. I don't know if I'm gonna touch that area or not because it's a little more excessive than I was expecting, so might just leave it like that, and this is perfect. So let's go get some hardware, because the old hardware has definitely seen better days. So we're gonna pick up some new ones. I'm gonna take these with me to a hardware store, and we're just gonna pick up some new bolts, some new washers. I might be able to reuse these actually, just if I clean them up, but the washers and these screws, gonna get some new ones. So let's go do that. That should be perfectly fine. So I chose slightly shorter screws than the original ones because these ones were actually poking through here and actually poking right there. So shorter ones hopefully will work better, and it won't actually touch this side from the inside. So the wing is back together, put all the new hardware in. Everything is good, it's super solid. But one thing that I noticed, and I'm gonna do, is I put this end plate on. I only put the left side on so far, and the right side I haven't put on yet, and I'll show you guys why. So a couple things that's happening right now. First, all the new hardware is in, super sturdy, but the problem is, you'll notice there's still a gap here, and I realized that it's actually due to just these two pieces warping. They don't connect very well to each other. I think it just has to do with age, that's all it is, and then weather or wear. So this wing probably sat in the sun most of its life and stuff like that, so it started to warp and everything. So the one idea that I got is eventually when I do find someone that can repaint these side pieces for me, I'm going to not only get them to repair some of the paint spots, like all the chips and everything like that, but I'm also gonna see if they could possibly maybe use some Bondo or something to kind of level this out more on both sides, so that when we do put it back together, it'll actually be flush with this completely, because I can't actually tie these any tighter together because I'm afraid I'm gonna break this thing. So that's probably the best thing to do. And then we got the side piece on. So the black spray paint actually really did a good job to kind of blend it in more, and it'll help protect it from rusting as well. But the one thing that I realized, and I only did the left side so far, is you can kind of see it's still a little bit rusty inside of here. So I have some of this, it's like kitchen grease cleaner. I don't have WD-40 or anything like that, so I'm gonna try and use this a little bit and maybe clean up just a little bit inside of these holes. So maybe that'll do something. I don't know. Worst case scenario, if that doesn't work, one idea that I have is I'm gonna take this off and I'm gonna tape these all down, and I'm actually gonna spray paint these holes with the black spray paint that I have. And that might actually work, not only to cover up the rust and stuff like that, get rid of it, but also to protect it from future rust as well. So I'm gonna try a little bit of this, spray some of it in here, clean it up a bit, but I'm probably just gonna tape it and repaint them. I think that's the best thing to do. And we are completely done. Everything that I could do on my own. So this turned out so good, actually. So I spray painted the bolts on both sides, and then I spray painted the holes as well to prevent rust and to cover it up a little bit. This looks so good. Look at that. Still got the gaps, so I forget which side it was. I believe it's the side. It's a little bit on the loose side. Well, not really loose, but it definitely can be tightened a lot more. But for now, I'm not willing to tighten it more just because I don't want to accidentally break anything or whatever. It's just because it's warped. But I think if we were to Bondo a little bit in here, if we can, when I'm getting these painted, then hopefully that'll help and it should tighten it up a lot more. But for now, I'm going to leave it as is. And I'm just going to go ahead and one more time, just clean this all up with a bit of polish, wipe it all down. And I think maybe tomorrow, some other day, because it's already starting to get dark outside, I'm gonna take you guys to a park somewhere and we'll rest this on top of the trunk and see what it looks like. But this looks so good. For literally just over $100 that I paid, 15,000 yen, this is amazing. And I literally, the only money that I put into this was to buy the washers and the screws that I put in, a couple hundred yen, and then literally just some of the other stuff I had laying around, the tape, the spray paint, all that kind of stuff, and the polish and everything. I already had that, so it definitely still needs work. The repaint, obviously, bit of Bondo here and needs to be tightened a little more. Aside from that though, this is amazing. I'm super happy with this, but who knows what we're going to do with it in the near future or in the far future. Maybe mount this if it's even possible at all after removing the stock wing. So we'll see. But for now, just going to clean this thing up, and then maybe tomorrow or some other day take you guys to the park and I'll show it to you guys. I got one big scuff mark that was somewhere here. I managed to get that completely out. It was just a stain that was on there. Look at this. Absolutely unbelievable. Gap is a little better than it was, but definitely still needs work. And then the paint chips and everything. But that's exactly how I was expecting to look like after using the paint pen and a bit of Bondo. Not gonna do all of it though, but this is pretty damn good actually. But it definitely, without a doubt, still needs a bit of work. But the next steps for this thing, I'm definitely gonna need someone's help with this, and we'll see what happens from there. Gas prices in Japan for high octane, although I didn't fill up the car all the way. It's some other day now. I don't remember how many days it's been since I filmed the last part, but we're here at the land and I do have the wing with me, so we're gonna mock it up here a little bit. Dude, those chickens are going nuts over there. What the heck? Maybe a hen laid an egg or something. I think they usually go crazy when that happens. So this is what it looks like. That looks so crazy actually. Obviously it's not resting properly because of stock wings here, so I did the best I could. It's not originally what I wanted, but with it sitting on top of the stock wing, it kind of looks more like a nurse spec, maybe. This kind of makes me want a nurse spec even more now that I see it like this. But obviously, if we were to somehow get to mount this thing onto here by removing the stock wing and figuring out the holes in the middle here, this would obviously be a lot lower. This looks crazy though. I honestly really like this a lot, but definitely needs to be fixed up, as you can see still. All the cracks and everything, so all of that, and then it has to be fitted a little better. If we were to mount it exactly the way the wing is fitted right now, it probably wouldn't line up with the trunk very well, so we definitely have to do something about that. And then I don't know, will we be able to mount this someday? I don't know. I think we would have to resort to getting a clean trunk, just because of the whole situation, unless I can really find someone to weld up the holes that'd be in the middle here, I think, and then figure out everything else. We'd have to get hardware for the new wing. But for now, that's what it looks like, and I think this is the first time I'm actually showing you guys completely the rear of the car, and that's what it looks like. It looks so sick. I love the plastic pieces, the guards or whatever you want to call these. I think that it fits so well with this style. I really like that a lot. It's an aggressive wing. Maybe we can trade this for a nurse spec in the future if I can ever find one. But for now, this is a good place to start. You guys let me know what you think. Here's one thing that I'm noticing, and that is, I feel like the curve or the angle on this and this side doesn't actually match with the trunk. Does it? I'm not really sure actually. I think these would have to be bended a little bit. I'm not really sure though. That angle looks a little too aggressive for it to actually attach to here, you know what I mean? But I mean, there's a way, right? But like I mentioned though, there's no guarantee this is ever gonna go on the car. I really definitely need someone to help me with this, and I'm still looking for someone that can do a lot to help me with figuring out this whole situation, fixing it up and all that kind of stuff. But there you go. That's just a bit of a look for you guys. One thing about this wing is most people, or at least what I see online, have kits, not necessarily like full body kits, but like, you know, side skirts, rear bumper, stuff like that, exhaust, quad exhaust and stuff like that, that usually go with this wing. But to be honest, all the kits that go with this wing, I really don't like the way they look. I really love this wing with a stock body, just exactly like this. But I would love to swap out these taillights, maybe. But with this wing, these taillights look so good. And then with these guards as well. I love that look, actually. So we'll see, we'll see. But there you go. It's just a bit of a look for you guys. Also, one more thing. Now that it's a bit brighter outside, I can show you guys what that looks like. It actually is a lot more vibrant than I thought, and the two purples don't really match, but for now it's fine. And then yeah, eventually there'll be more purple stuff in here. The steering wheel will go in there. Unfortunately, I forgot to bring it with me again. It's the second time. I would have loved to have shown it to you guys what it looks like if it was actually mounted here, and then I've never actually seen it inside of here as well with all this in here. So next time, but that's fine. I think that'll about do it. I'm just gonna, because I'm at the land right now actually, I have some time, and it's not as hot right now because it's a bit cloudy and the humidity hasn't started yet, so I'm just gonna clean up the rims a little bit. That's about it. I'm not gonna be here for too long, but there you guys go. Just a bit of look at the Tommy Kaira wing. I don't know if it actually is or not, but I really like that actually, but definitely it still needs a lot of work and I need help from someone. So I'm just gonna
do some other stuff now, and see you guys in the next video. Maybe one day, just one day, maybe. I actually really like that a lot. Johnny.